Hi Sagittarius, I want to welcome you to Yellow Cardinal Tarot, and my name's Carol. So I'm going to give you your January 2024 reading, and I hope you are coming back from my December reading. That was my first reading on this channel, so this is a brand new channel, so welcome back if you are coming back for a second reading, and if you're new, awesome. Hope you subscribe. So this channel is all about shadow work, all about healing. And in this particular video, what I want to do is I want to look at what energy are you sitting in from 2023 that needs to be healed. Whether it's a pattern that's coming up for you, whether it's a workplace situation, whether it's a relationship issue. What's coming up for you that needs to be healed? It could be an emotion emotions are coming up. Something's coming up for you, and we're going to look at that. And then I'm going to look at what's coming up in your shadow. The thing that you don't know about. It lives in your unconscious. So what's coming up in there that's linked to this situation that you need to heal? And then I'm going to ask for some guidance from the tarot to see what you need to do to heal this situation that you're sitting in. And then I'm also going to give you some guidance, and I'm going to recommend a video for you from my other channel called Carole Cares. And on that channel I have videos on journaling and grounding and emotions and how to process your emotion and all kinds of things, anxiety, depression. And so I'll recommend a video for you at the end that you're free to go and look at if you want. So let's get started. I'm going to ask for some cards for my top row, just to give us a sort of a main energy for each section, and then I'm going to use the Light Seers Tarot deck for that, and then I'm going to go into the Rider-Waite for clarification, and then I'll end it off with an oracle card, a spirit animal card for you. So let's get started. Just do a bit of shuffling. I did do some shuffling off camera. So I'm just going to ask for hopefully, 1 to 3 cards for the top. I prefer 1 card, but it doesn't always come out that way. So let's ask the tarot for a card for your present energy, what situation you're sitting in. For Sagittarius, what card do we need here? All right, we have one that came out, which was the 5 of Pentacles, and I'm seeing that it wants me to bring out the High Priestess and the Knight of Wands for you in reverse. Okay, those also flipped up for you. And then something for a card for what's coming up in your shadow for you. What's coming up in your shadow? Too many cards. All right, one flipped out here. The King of Cups has come out in reverse for you for your shadow card. And guidance from the tarot. You have too many cards. That flew out there. Ooh, that one came out. The Empress. The Empress is your guidance. Okay, so let's talk about these first before I bring out some clarifications. So you have in your present situation you're sitting with 5 of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Knight of Wands are your 3 cards here. And the 5 of Pentacles, first of all, is for me, so first of all, 5s are all about change and conflict. And usually the conflict comes around, and the Pentacles is about, has everything to do with your body. The Pentacle is your body. It has everything to do with the material world, your relationship to your material world, your workspace, your health. And in particular here, the 5 of Pentacles, and it looks like you're dealing with your self-worth. And you're sitting in a space here where you're not really feeling great about yourself. Something's going on, whether you're sitting in some depression, some hopelessness, something, maybe there's been some loss. But you're battling with that right now. And I'm going to say, I mean, when I first saw this card, I thought of self-worth right away, because I do call the Five of Pentacles the self-worth card. In the Rider-Waite deck, it's the card where the two individuals are walking by the church, and they're walking and, you know, they're cladly dressed, and they need to go inside the church for some warmth and some clothes, but they don't. And so this is what I'm seeing here is your self-worth. Is you're just not feeling good about yourself right now. And the High Priestess is the next card. And the High Priestess talks about, she's very much the feminine aspect of ourselves. And we all have a feminine and a masculine part to ourselves. And it doesn't matter the gender. For most of us, the feminine side is very repressed, because the feminine side has everything to do with our inner guidance, our intuition, has everything to do with our creativity, has everything to do with our authenticity of who we are. And it has everything to do with stillness, getting still and getting into the body and feeling our emotions. And that's the feminine side of us. And this particular card, the High Priestess, there's two cards in the tarot that represent, two major arcana cards that represent the feminine aspect, and that's the High Priestess and the Empress card, which is beautiful because you got both of them. Okay, so this really tells me that, you know, the feminine part of you is coming out in this reading. And like I said, the feminine aspect of it is the creativity, the authenticity, the emotional part, the feeling, and the intuitive part to us. So the High Priestess in particular has, you can see on top of her head, she has the wisdom of the crone goddess. And that is it is a very, very high wisdom. It's intuitive. She represents our intuition. She represents going inwards and getting that inner guidance system inside of us. And it's sounding like, you know, because of the situation you're in right now, how you're feeling about yourself, I think it's you know, it's time to figure out who you really are. The Knight of Wands comes in reverse. And the Knight of Wands, for me, all my knights are parts. I call them the freedom fighters. They're the adolescent part of us. And I was a teacher for 30 years in Canada, and I taught adolescents. I taught high school. And one thing I know about adolescents is that they don't want to be controlled. They want to be authentic. And they want the freedom to do what they want to do. And the wands for me is that spiritual creative energy. And yours came in reverse here. So what this tells me right away is that you're sitting in a place where you're very not feeling worthy, and, you know, not really connected to your intuition, because if you were, you would realize that there is a part of you that wants to get out of there, get out and become creative and become you and become someone else. And there is a part of you in there that's dying to come out. That's the freedom, wants the freedom to be you. And it's in reverse right here, so it's blocked. So I'm hoping we're going to find out in your shadow why you don't see that part of yourself. You know, that's gonna come out here for you. I know it will. So why don't you see that part of you? Why are you stuck in this unworthiness? And why you can't see, you know, that part of you. If you look at this closely, there's a door there with a lock on it. So it's as if she's locked in this room. She's feeling trapped, is what it is. And there's a key right here, and she doesn't see the key. She can get herself out of here. But she just, you know, a lot of times when we're in this place, when we're in this hopeless place. I mean, I've been there many times. I mean, you can't even get, if you knew that there was a key there, you couldn't even get yourself off the damn couch to open up the door for yourself. Sometimes it does get that bad. And so let's look at, what it is that is in your shadow. And you have the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is in reverse. So let's look at the King of Cups and who he is. The King of Cups for me is the masculine side of you, right? I just talked about that. So the King of Cups will be that masculine side of you that is very grounded and is very much in touch with his emotions and his desires, because he knows that it's very important to feel in order to clear out what's in your shadow, so that you can start to see that there is a way out of this situation that you're in right now. And he's in reverse. So there is very much a resistance to going inwards, and this is what this intuition card is right here. If you go inwards, if you start to get back into your body, and that means grounding, find out how to ground. I will, I'm going to put grounding here as a recommendation for a video for you. We'll see what else comes up. But once you start to get in touch with your intuition, you ground yourself and get in touch with your intuition. And that's going to bring up some emotions for you that you need to feel, because you're sitting in, emotions. We're not meant to get trapped. We're not meant to get stuck in our hopelessness. And I know what it feels like to be sitting there on that couch and not seeing the light. I can't tell you how, I've been in that situation, and I've had to write, I've had to journal from those feelings of even suicidal ideation. I've had to journal from many times, because I've just felt like I was trapped in these emotions of feeling like I had no worth and feeling like my situation was hopeless many times. And so the King of Cups in reverse says, in our shadow it's time to start feeling, because you have a real resistance to feel this hopelessness. Like, that shit is heavy and it feels like shit, and you gotta lean into it and start to feel and start to go inwards and feel. So we're gonna see what get some more clarity from the Rider-Waite deck, because what's coming out for you as guidance, which is beautiful, is that other major arcana card. You've got both of those. Like I said, you have both of the feminine aspects. These. What's really fascinating about the tarot is that they've taken, the Emperor is the one masculine figure, but they've taken the feminine, they've split her in two. And the feminine aspect is, so we've already established this is our intuition. This is our inner guidance system. And this other one right here that's coming for your guidance is the creativity part of us. It's just becoming who we want to be, becoming authentic, and feeling our emotions. You can see that there's a world here. There's a world of possibilities out there for you. And there's something that she's birthing, something that wants to come out here. There's something in you that wants to come out and birth. Yeah. And that's for you to discover. Because what people don't know about the shadow is that, yeah, there's a lot of emotions in there. There's a lot of feeling in there that has to take place, and that's the shitty part of it. But what people don't know is that there's buried gifts in there that we have, that we were meant to have on this earth, because we all have a purpose for being here. And believe me, I didn't understand this, and I didn't believe this about myself. But here I am reading tarot. Never knew I was going to be going this route. But, this is what the feminine says here. There's something here for you. So let's get some cards here and clarify. I'm really interested, Sagittarius, to see what it is here that that's coming out for you, because there's something birthing. Like you have the Empress card for what's coming out for you, for your guidance, which is amazing. So I'm going to ask for some clarification for these 3 cards here of, you know, give us some give me a bit more clarification of where you're sitting with your feeling of unworthiness, maybe sitting in some hopelessness. And I don't want half of the deck. That wouldn't be, we'd be here for a while. So just give me a couple cards here for you. That's going to clarify this. And I have the 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups in reverse. Ooh, and we have, I have a lot of cards here. It's always a struggle to take them, but I will take them. But you have 5 more cards that have flown out for you. So you have the High Priestess in reverse. Excuse me. So she comes in reverse this time in your, which is interesting because you got the High Priestess upright for your present situation. And then you got the Queen of Swords. And you have the Queen of Swords in reverse, 9 of Pentacles, the Hangman in reverse, and the World card. So here they all are. And we're going to have to dive into all of those for you. All right, so that's going to explain a bit for your present situation. And then we're going to look at the King of Cups, what's coming up in your shadow. This one came out, the Queen of Cups in reverse. And I do read reversals. I welcome them, especially when you're talking about the shadow, because it just tells me there's blockages, there's resistance. Okay, a couple more cards would be great. This one wanted to come out. It flipped out. The Fool. Oh, got the Fool here. And we have the 5 of Swords and the 8 of Wands in reverse. All right. And the Empress. And I'll show you these cards as I go and talk to them. I'm going to talk to the cards, I guess. Talk about them. Okay, Empress card. Let's give some more direction on this Empress. This is the creative one here. So we have the Tower card in reverse has come up. Don't want you to be afraid of that one because I'll explain that one really well, what that one is about. I've had a few Tower moments in my journey, let me tell you. And we'll explain that. And that one almost came out. Okay, probably a couple more cards here would be great. And then I can get into this reading for Sagittarius. I'm not sure what wanted to come up. Almost there. Almost there. Tarot will give me the cards that it wants to. Oh, there it is. Okay. We have the Star. And I have the Star in reverse and the 3 of Swords in reverse. Okay, let's start out with your present energy. Let's see where you are right now with your unworthiness and hopelessness. And it starts off with the 7 of Cups in reverse. The 7 of Cups in reverse. So the 7 of Cups I see as a card of, you're looking at this card, the 7 of Cups, it has all kinds in the upright position. It has all kinds of cups here. And in this cup, there's so many different things you can have, so many desires. Oh, you could do anything you want to do. This person, this individual, it's like he's won a contest and he gets to go pick whatever cup he wants, right? And the 7 has everything to do with introspection, self-introspection, self-awareness, going inwards, really deciding, thinking about what you really want, right? And that's come for you up in reverse. So, and I'm not surprised because you are sitting in this place of, unworthiness, futility, or hopelessness. And so you're having a difficult time seeing that there is other things out there for you. And we really, when the 7 comes up, a lot of times for me, it's a card too that when people look at it and go, is this all there is? This is it in life? And really, it's come up for you in reverse, and I think you're sitting there going, is this all that this? I think because it's in reverse, you have definitely believe you definitely believe now that this is all there is for you. You've just got to that place where it's like, this is it. This is all there is for me. I'm gonna sit in this unworthiness and hopelessness forever. And it's not all it is. And the High Priestess comes up in reverse. And here's the High Priestess in the Rider-Waite deck. And, you know, the High Priestess, again, is all about your intuition. You're going inwards and finding your own inner guidance system and going inwards and finding out who you are. You know, not who people told you who you are, but who you really are. And that's what's buried in our shadow. And, you know, people think that you can't get by these 2 pillars. They think that this High Priestess right here is guarding it and blocking it, and you're not allowed to get in. And they don't know what's behind that veil. But the problem is people don't know how to get past that veil. She's our intuition. People don't know how to get in touch with their intuition. And your intuition is blocked right now. So we saw it coming out. It's come out twice here for you. So your intuition, and that is going inwards and finding out who we really are. Getting in touch with the unconscious and finding out who we really are. And the Queen of Swords. A lot of cards you have in here. And the Queen of Swords is in reverse, right? She's blocked also. She is the feminine aspect of ourself also. She represents the feminine aspect. She's like a queen of my freedom fighters. She's the queen of the knights in my deck. She's the queen because she's the one that's all about authenticity. She has this sword of authenticity here. She wants you to find out who you really are. She wants you to cut through the bullshit of what people told you you are and find out who you are. You know, it's not this person that's sitting there that has decided with these cups here that this is all life is going to give you right now. So she's in reverse. So she's sitting here because she's in reverse. She's really sitting there. And a lot of times when I have a queen in reverse, to me, that means that she's sitting with a lot of hopelessness. And she might even be sitting with some anger. Anger at these people that told her that she couldn't be anything else. That's what she's telling me. And then you get the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. And the 9 of Pentacles talks about, you know, it's an initiation card into the 10 of Pentacles, this feeling of sort of, the 10 of Pentacles is like a home card, this feeling inside of being home. If your home was a nice place to be, it would be that feeling of just being at home with yourself and being content with yourself. The 9 comes right before that. And the 9 of Pentacles, this particular individual has dedicated a lot of time and commitment to training this falcon. This is a falcon here that he's trained. And in the olden times, this was like during medieval times, this particular individual would have been considered to be one with a lot of wealth because only the wealthy could train a falcon and spend all that time. It was a sport called falconry that they took part in. And so the 9 of Pentacles is, you know, doing what you want to do. This person's doing what he wants to do, and seeing abundance from it, and seeing that there is a possibility. There is a possibility for you to do what you want to do, and it can bring you abundance. A lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people, once they start to do what they want to do or put themselves first and do something creative, there is a real resistance to doing it because sometimes people have told you that that's not going to bring you money. You shouldn't do that. That's a stupid idea. And that is blocked for you. So you don't believe. You don't believe that there's anything else that you can do that's going to bring you abundance. You don't believe that you have these gifts that are sitting in your shadow that are going to bring you abundance. Because the Hanged Man is the next card that comes, and it's in reverse. The Hanged Man is the individual that's sitting here. Well, he's not sitting here. He's hanging here upside down. Nothing really holding him. He's quite content. He trusts. He trusts that he trusts himself. He trusts that what he believes inside is his truth. But this is in reverse for you. So you are having a hard time believing who you are. You are having a hard time believing that you have this gift called intuition that you can get in touch with to find out, you know what? There is something else out there for me. There is lots of possibilities out there for you. But I know when you're sitting in this shitty position right here and not seeing anything else and not seeing that there is a key there that you can grab and use to get yourself out. I'm getting the sense that you feel like you're trapped in this situation called life. And you feel like this is the hand that you've been dealt. And you're not really seeing a way out right now for yourself. And so the shadow comes up and it says, well, you know, shadow's all about going inwards, learning how to ground. I have videos on grounding and I'm going to give you one at the end. Learning how to ground yourself and starting to feel. Because the Queen of Cups is coming in here. And I told you that the Queen is that feminine part of us. And she's also that one that she loves the body. She loves getting in the body. She loves to feel her emotions. I know they're hard to feel. But the Queen is all about that feminine part of us that has intuition, that believes in her emotions. And the Queen of Cups for you is in reverse. Queen of Cups is all about our desires, all about our emotions. Look at how the water is flowing around her feet. You know, emotions are supposed to flow in and out, in and out. I don't know if I've talked about that already. But they're not supposed to get stuck and stagnant. And we're not supposed to live in them. Some people get diagnosis of, you have depression. Well, yeah, I've had depression too. And I get depression and I get depressed. But when you get a diagnosis, it doesn't mean you're there forever. And I think I'm going to give you a video on that about depression. And I have a video that says, you know, will I have depression forever? No, you don't. You're not going to have depression forever. But there are things you have to do to get out of it. And one of them is to feel. And that's in your resistance. You have a great resistance to feel your emotions right now. And I mean, because you have the King of Cups in reverse and the Queen of Cups in reverse, I know there is a resistance to going inwards and feeling your emotions. The Fool is your next card for you that's coming up in your shadow. And the Fool is the card that says, you know, you got to have faith that whatever is sitting in your shadow is something that you need to get to deal with what you're dealing with right now. And it will work. You will get out of this. But you have to have faith. And the Fool only comes in my readings when it's really a significant time for change and for transformation. So it's as if the universe is coming in right now and wants to push you off that cliff and say, listen, it's time for you to start feeling. It really is time for you to start feeling. Because you can decide, you can keep saying to yourself and feel trapped in this situation, or you can feel, or you can start to feel. It's up to you. And believe me, I know that we will do everything and anything but feel. People just don't want to feel. And you know, the next card is the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords here is a card of change, and it's a card of conflict. And you know, there's a lot of conflict going on here. And you see that this particular individual has bullied his way into gaining some swords, you know, bullied his way into taking the swords from these other people. And swords is all about our mental thoughts, our our belief systems, our patternings. It's all about what people told us when we were younger. It's all about that. And I believe this card came in reverse for you. So I'm seeing that if it did come in reverse, you know, there's this particular individual here that is in the background right here. I think you can see him if I go closer. And he has his head covered like this. And this card reminds me of like the bullying card, where this bully has, and bullies are full of shame because they've been dealt with a lot of shame at home and they just spew it out on everybody else. And so they carry a lot of shame. Everybody has shame. And that's how we get shame, is we give it to other people. And so I'm seeing that you're dealing with some shame here. This is that particular individual, like I talked about in the background. He's hiding his face, and that tells me that this is a card of, it looks like there's some shame here that you need to deal with. And that could be why you're sitting in this, the unworthiness, because shame makes us feel shitty about ourselves. Shame is that feeling of we're not good enough. Somebody told us when we were younger, you're not good enough. And so we want to hide our face from people. And I'm seeing that that's blocked in here if it came in reverse. So, you know, and the next card is the Eight of Wands in reverse for you. And the Eight of Wands is, for me, it's that card of 8 gives you infinite possibilities. The Wands is all about, the Wands is our spiritual body. It's all about our creativity, our authenticity. It's who we want to be. It's putting ourselves first and doing what we want to do. And this came in reverse for me. And normally what I say about this is that the Eight of Wands is when you want to do something different for yourself, when you want to find out who you really are. In this case, your shadow is saying, you know, it's time. It's really obvious that it's time for you to feel. And this card is saying, you know what? Sometimes we don't see a way out of our situation. And the tarot is wanting you to feel. I can tell. Feel these emotions. And the Eight of Wands card says, just take those wands and throw them up in the air and see what happens. Just say to yourself, I'm going to start to feel. Like, fuck this shit that I'm sitting with. I'm going to start to feel. And that is the commitment that you have to make to yourself. And there's a big resistance here because it's in reverse. There's a huge resistance I can see for you to start to feel. I mean, I'll be surprised if you're still here if you haven't turned this video off, because people used to tell me to go inwards and feel, and I'm like, are you kidding me? That's the last thing I wanted to do, was feel my emotions. But you are sitting in a trapped, blocked situation here that it's screaming at me to say, you need to feel. Because the tarot, the final words of the tarot is, you know, you get the Empress card again, or not again, but you get the feminine aspect of creativity and authenticity. And, you know, a lot of times when we stay in this position, this state of hopelessness and unworthiness and depression, maybe, of, you know, who we are and what life has dealt us. And there is a tower moment that can come in, because the universe does not want us to sit too long. Doesn't want us to sit too long in this. And so what happens is the universe will sometimes take a baseball bat to us and go, listen, you've sat here enough. And I see that there's a tower moment in reverse for you, which means there is probably a tower moment that could be coming up for you, and you're not seeing it because you're so much in this that the universe says, no, you need to start to see the position that you're in right now. There is a way out for you. And the Star card is the next card that comes in reverse. And the Star card for me is all about And it comes right after. I mean, it's number 17, and the Tower card is 16. So I always tell people when the Star card comes out, it's right after the Tower card, right after the Tower moment here. And so when we do have a Tower moment from the universe, if we get hit with a baseball bat, and maybe this reading is your baseball bat, I don't know, and then this will come out usually. And the Star card is, that moment of when you finally open your eyes and go, oh, when you've relieved yourself of some of that unworthiness and some of that depression that you're sitting in, and you get this feeling of, oh, and sometimes it does bring in some emptiness and because it just opens up something. And whenever you get that release from a Tower moment in our life, excuse me, it brings up this emptiness inside of us, because something new is going to fill that spot. And your Star card is in reverse because it hasn't, you're not going to feel that yet until this Tower moment has to come out for you. This moment of realizing, I got to start feeling. And guess what card came out for your final card is your Three of Swords in reverse. This card is all about, you know what? Yeah, it's going to feel like shit. It's painful. To feel is painful. It's really painful. I don't know if I said that enough, and it's in reverse for you. So I see that there's some real fear of feeling, and I guess the tarot was saying is, yeah, this is painful, but I'm going to tell you now, it's more painful to sit in this feeling of unworthiness than it is to start to clear out some of this. And then you're going to start to feel this Star card right here. It's going to turn up right for you. And you're going to start to feel that moment of peace and get a little bit of peace in your life and freedom. And, you'll be able to take that key and open that door and get off that damn couch and open that door and say, you know what, there's another life to me out there. There's lots of opportunities out there. And you're meant to do something on this earth. You're not here just to, get stuck in our emotions. Our emotions have to flow. So I'll leave you with a couple videos in the end, grounding and some on depression, and that key video about, am I going to be stuck in this forever? And let me leave you with a final card for you from what turned out to be an amazing reading for you. And I hope that you stuck around to the end. I feel that if you stuck around to the end, that you really do want to make this commitment. You want to jump off that cliff and be that fool that just says, I'm trusting that if I go inwards and start to feel my stuff, that this will bring me somewhere. And you popped out here. You got grounding spirit. It's time to let go. Time to let go. It's time to let go. It's time to pick up that key and open up that door. It's time to let go. You got a lot of pain. You got a lot of pain that you need to let go. And so I hope this helps, Sagittarius. I hope you take some time to look at some of the grounding videos and the video on depression. And there's some other videos on there if you think that there's something else that you might like to see on my other channel, Carol Cares. So good luck, and have some compassion for yourself for what you're working through, because I know this is tough stuff. It really is. And I'll see you next month. Take care.